So, do you...
Okay, we got it. Here we go.
Hey y'all, welcome to Just a Girl Talk. My name is Janine, and this is the very first episode of Just a Girl Talk. I have a special guest who happens to be my sister, who I love and adore, and she's going to tell you guys a little bit about herself before we get started.
Hey everybody, everybody know me as Sauce. I am the creator of Rich Baby Born Rich, a unisex clothing brand created for toddlers, youth, and adults. And I'm also excited to be part of not only the first episode, but just to be blessed with Nini's presence. And I'm super geek for what this episode is going to be like and the juicy topic we get ready to get into.
Okay, so you guys are ready. We're going to jump right on in.
Yes.
So today we will be talking about a topic that is, a little sensitive, can cause a lot of controversy and conversation, which we want, right? We want to have people thinking, have you kind of thinking more in depth to decisions that we make as human beings. And Today the topic is the popularity of the side chick.
Ooh, Lord.
So we live in a society, in a culture, in a world per se, that being a side chick or the side chick has become normalized. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think that the direction that as women we want to uplift and embrace and show women, especially on this channel and just with Just a Girl Talk, that you deserve so much better, right? And we have certain things that we all want, and we all want companionship, and we want someone to love us. And I think as when we deserve someone to ourselves, to love us for who we are and not have to share the person that we love, man or woman.
That's right.
So we're going to jump right into it. Why have women become comfortable being the side chick?
Yeah, that's so tough because if we're going to be real, it's hard for me to understand from a personal level because as long as I can remember, I was never a side chick, but I know many women who have dated someone who had a girlfriend or some type of relationship going on, whether it be complicated or whatever the situation may be, and knowingly still decides to like talk to the guy or date the guy or like even fall in love with the guy. And so I'm not really sure why, how, or when it even became normalized. I just know that growing up and even like today, like it's still like a thing.
Right.
It's really still a thing.
Right. And the thing is, at one point in time, I was talking to my husband about this last night, about it was a point in time when being the other woman, you were ashamed. You didn't want anyone to know that you had this guy. Like, you would never tell your friends. Yeah. Because you were so ashamed of being that person, and
or maybe not even ashamed, almost like, all right, you know what's going on, I know what's going on. Like, women and I guess guys back then were mature enough to know that they were like in the fire, but like still mature enough not to like let it explode. Where I feel like our generation, the millennials, is like, yeah, I got your man and I'm gonna prove to you every time I see you, or I'm gonna make sure that like something like, comes about every time I see you and make you feel like inferior or like less than me, or I got one up on you because I'm talking to you. Right. And that's supposed to be like cool.
Right. And that's where it goes back to just the where it used to be, and it sounds crazy but it used to be like guidelines to being a side chick, right? Like a side chick knew her place. Yes. And it's as crazy as that may sound, but you know your place, that's not your man. You may not call after a certain time. Yep. I may not see you on these days because I'm with my girl or I'm with my wife, but on both the woman's part and the men have allowed the other woman to have just as much I guess say so as the woman, as the number one woman.
Right. And that's where it got tricky.
Right. That's where it's like why so many women are comfortable with publicizing that they're dating someone's man, or like you said, finding every way to make her know without knowing that I'm messing with your man,
you know?
Right. And that's where it's like, why, again, where did that we all talk about how I think music, social media, celebrity, like, it's just so many things that as women we're told we can carry ourselves a certain way.
Right.
Even when it goes to like how women are now carrying themselves as men carry themselves, as far as like sleeping with a bunch of women, where it was usually men that were, but now it's like women are comfortable with having that position, and so the times are just changing, and that's a question that I think is just always going to be the question that we probably won't answer, like when did it become something that became normal or women were comfortable being that way. And I think there's still a lot of women out here who are not comfortable with it and get themselves in situations that they just got caught up in.
Right.
Like you might meet a guy and you didn't know he had a girlfriend, and then you find out he had a girlfriend, and then you're caught up being the other woman.
Right.
And you don't know how to get out of it. But there are the women who know, go into it, don't care, and they're going to do everything they can to try to even like make the man leave their woman for them.
Right.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you think a woman can actually make a man leave, the side chick can make the man leave his wife or his main girlfriend? Like, do you feel like that is something that...
Honestly, if we're talking about status, a wife, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
A girlfriend, potentially, because what happens is, I believe that men see like side chicks, and they kind of grasp towards the women who have things that, let's say, their woman or their wife may lack in.
Right.
Like
Okay.
like a certain area that they may lack in.
Right.
Like, I don't know, maybe your wife is like super tired and she really don't want to have sex like every day a week.
Right.
But this girl who like she with it like any day, anytime, she cool. All right, so a guy, like, he'll be attracted to that. It doesn't necessarily mean that he loves her, but that affinity is there. So it's like, all right, yeah, I got my girl or my wife, but like I'm attracted to that. So like I feel like that's the motive. Rarely, like, really, I don't really believe 100% that guys just deliberately want to have two women, and be in like a solid like relationship with two women. I just think that sometimes, specifically when things may be a little bit shaky in their relationship, they venture off and they have that affinity and forget, their right state of mind.
Right. Then let's talk about the men who do leave their girlfriends for the other woman. Like they leave. Tough. And then like as that woman who you now have that man, then what?
Right.
Like how do you build that relationship?
That's tough.
Is it and last night again my husband and I were talking about like there are men who wait until the right woman who happens to be the side chick who is their getaway. Like that was the person that he needed to leave. So it may not be like he's gonna cheat with you too. It might be a situation, but it's like that's the hard thing. Like how do you trust the person that you're with when it was based on lies from the very beginning?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even if his situation was terrible and he didn't know how to leave or he had kids or whatever it was, that again I do believe that there are people in relationships who are mentally done.
Yeah.
And just don't leave, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Does it mean that they have the right to say they weren't with someone, even if you mentally checked out a year ago?
No.
No, right? Because you still were with that person.
That's right.
So you still made a commitment and you still chose to stay.
That's right.
So I get that part of you were mentally checked out and you just, like, that person came along and now here you are.
Yeah.
But it's still like I can't imagine being that woman and trying to build something with someone that I know, like, because my fear is that you gonna leave me for somebody else,
right?
I mean, that's any man obviously could leave you for somebody else, but just that I know that you left somebody for me. Now, if I lack somewhere, am I going to be left too? You know?
I think what separates girls from women is knowing like your position. Like I feel like most of the time, side chicks, they get this sense of like power. Not saying that they weren't already powerful, but it's something about, oh no, he want me, like that girls yearn. And I'm not sure if it's because women haven't really found true love, or maybe they aren't used to being in a consistent relationship where they legit has felt what it's like to be loved.
Right.
Because you can be in a relationship and a guy don't know how to love you.
Correct.
So
right.
I think that these side chicks, they find that guy's like, he know how to do this, and and I get butterflies when he do this, and you can, and like, this is going for like women's in their 30s and their 40s. It's not just young bucks no more. So I think that whatever state of mind the woman is at that moment kind of gives her access to like tapping into that lane if she's not strong enough, if she doesn't feel like she will continue to hold the same power, she will continue to like be of that same value with or without a guy. And I think because it has become so normalized, it's like, all right, even if I thought it for 1 second, it's normal, it's cool, like, it's the cool thing to do, like it's you know, it's in, so like I'm doing it. And it's like maybe a handful of girls or women who think otherwise, and maybe kind of like us, like, is you crazy? Like, I know who you are, but do you know who I am? Like, the same amount of attention that women give to you, not saying that I want it, but I get that, you know? So,
and since we talk about like the place that a woman is in, let's talk about like, when women end up in situations where they're the side chick, right? Because I feel like there's a difference in being the side chick and being the other woman.
That's right.
You know, there's two different places in a man's life when you are the other woman and you just the side chick. And I guess the side chick is somebody that you might call when you want to have sex, or you might do things here and there for her. But the other woman is like the other woman. Like, she is kind of, you're living almost two lives when you're the other woman. Yeah. But for women who end up in that situation, do you think that it does it reflect their self-love and self-worth for themselves?
Absolutely, 1000%. I will debate, not argue, I would debate with any woman who says anything other than it being that.
Right. And I think I can agree as well. I think that, again, you can get caught up in situations, right? But I think as women, once we realize like who we are and what we're worth, then you start to move differently, because you're no longer letting them, like you said, I think men are always like able to show us like, this is who I am, you know, and this is what I bring. But the woman doesn't always show the man like, no, this is who I am, this is what I bring, you know what I mean? So then you're like in a situation where when you don't know your worth and you don't love yourself in a certain way, you're not able to show the man who you really are, and then you end up in these situations, you know? And it doesn't mean that you think less of yourself. You just might not know who you are or what you really deserve.
That's
you
right.
know?
And
like,
we all can attest to that.
Right.
Like, I don't care how old you are or how long you've been in a relationship. I feel like as women, we all been in a place where we know it's like that little voice in the back of our mind, but for whatever reason we shut it down. It's like, all right, so she know you the shit, but like, don't say that. Like,
exactly.
It ain't cool to like brag, and you shouldn't talk about like your success. And it's just like, okay, but like if you dating a ball player, or if you dating, you know, just a regular guy who got it going on for himself, every chance he get, not maliciously, but it may come up a little bit more and a little bit more freely and a little bit more accepted from society. If a man says it versus if a man or if a woman says it, it's almost like, oh, she thinks she better. It's like, nah, I don't think I'm better. I just know that I'm good.
Right. And I think that that's a good thing, because again, as women, we have been told, again, if we act a certain way, or we carry ourselves a certain way, that we're being uppity, or we're being think we're better than people, like, you know, it just
standards is too high.
Like, it just makes it, women and this is what other women paint on each other, right?
That's
like, oh, she thinks she better than somebody because she did this, and it's like, no, like, why can I think highly of myself or think that I'm great at this, like, and again, when you hear that for so long, you end up shutting down, and you end up not showing other people how great you are, because you've been told you think you're better than everybody else, and you don't want people to think that about you. So you start to lessen how you see yourself. You know, where your self-worth becomes not a priority all the time. Again, a man, I personally believe that there's somebody out here for everybody.
Yes,
and I believe that every person deserves to be with that person.
That's right.
And I don't think as women we deserve to share the person that we are with. You know, if the person loves you enough, then they will be able to give you all of them.
That's
and
right.
You will never be. And again, and I think when I just think about something that just popped in my head, that there are women out here. When I think about, like, everybody wants to be with somebody.
Yes.
Like, but I think that, but then I have heard women say that they don't. Like, I don't want to be in a committed relationship.
Okay.
You know, and it's like, well, why? You know what I mean? Like, and then it goes back to, like, so what are you getting out of being, is it just because that, not having that commitment, so you can mess with somebody's boyfriend and it ain't never gonna be nothing because he's with her, but you can also, so if it goes the other side of it, like, you could just date somebody without a girlfriend. Are you afraid of it leading to commitment, so that way you push away from those situations? So you rather do it with somebody who's committed to somebody else, so that that they ain't never gonna want you because they got somebody else.
That's good. I don't know if I ever thought about it like that. But that's definitely a valid, I'm not saying that is right. But it's definitely like a different perspective or a different outlook to think about side chicks. And how they think. Because you're right. Like some women aren't just out here doing it because they're hurt or broken. I don't know, like, relationship wise, but I know I've heard women and older women say, like, I don't want to get married. And before I used to think, like, what do you mean? Like, I just want to. So I get the whole marriage part, but I don't get or I guess I never thought about the part where it's like, no, I'm okay with just dating and not leading to something serious. Although I could never see that for myself. I can see how another woman would want that.
Yeah. So, and then we're talking about, like, self-worth, self-love. Let's jump into the feeling of that women feel. Like, are women, even the ones who are okay with it and they make it so popular and make it okay, do you think that women are still ashamed of it? Even as popular as it is to be a side chick, like, deep down inside, when I'm telling my girlfriend about this guy and am I still going home like, what? I can't believe, like, you know what I mean? Like, I might hang the phone with him, like, am I still ashamed, even if I'm making it okay, and it's like I'm brushing off my shoulder, like, girl, I don't care about the nigga, I don't care, like, that's his girl, like, am I still going to bed ashamed that I'm in that position? I
think, yes, again, I think it's still that little voice in the back of your mind that's like, this ain't right, but it feels so good, you if you eat candy and sugar your whole life, diabetes is probably in the forecast, but like, in that moment it feels so right, it feels so good, so shut down, little voice, I don't want to hear that right now, and then eventually when her heart gets broken, that little voice like, I told you something, like, all right, like, you're right, like, so it's not that women don't know better. Again, I just think it goes back to wanting to feel that love so bad that you will almost let parts of yourself go, almost let some of your integrity, like, slip through the cracks just to fill that void. And I think that it'll take for, like, the right man to come around and to love on you the way you're supposed to be loved, but also I feel like it's the time in your life where you grow and you mature to say, hey, listen, like, whether a man loves me or not, I'm going to love on myself so hard that whatever someone else gives me is bonus, is extra, is like extra credit. But within myself, I'm still sufficient enough to love on myself the way I'm supposed to be. And so I feel like for most women, it takes a long time to get to that point. But when they do get there, it's like it clicks. The problem is, though, how do we change the narrative? How do we get women to recognize or get to that point way earlier before they have to go through heartbreak and before they have to go through drama and baby mamas and like all these terrible experiences, like loving on a man or thinking you loving on a man, just to get to, like, you don't always have to go through trauma or crazy shit to to find that right man. Like, that's not what it's supposed to be.
That's a good point, because I think, especially in the African American community, that we have almost came up with this idea that we've had to go through, like, these shitty relationships to get to the right one.
Yeah.
Because that's how our mom was. And
right.
our grandma, like, you know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
people around us. So it's like almost like, girl, it's just another person I had to get through. But it's like, why did you have to go through all that? Why?
Right.
Again, like you said, when does it stop? Like, when do you stop the cycle of going through that and really taking a step back and saying, like, okay, I done went through 2 situations that I'm not happy about.
Right.
Let me figure out what I'm doing or what can I do differently so that the next time it doesn't happen. But I think we just have had this idea that it's normal, which again, everybody goes through different things, and we've all been in situations where, you know, that person you thought was right for you wasn't, and vice versa, for a man as well. But I just think culture wise, especially in the Black community, of how relationships are portrayed, and, you know, people are getting pregnant before they're getting married, and then you have so many women being the other woman, and you know, just the lack of disrespect that women have for each other. And I really wanted to definitely touch on that, because I find it very, as a married woman, and for me, if I was to ever, you know, to find out my husband's cheating on me, and for it to be publicized, or to know that another woman was okay with like posting my husband on social media, and he's okay, like that is like the ultimate disrespect for me. And again, not that the cheating is not, but it goes to another level of boundaries being crossed when you posting it or you tagging me, like just the level of things that, you know, women do to. And it's like, it's hurting that woman. You know, like I didn't do anything to you for you to want to cause me that much pain. Right. You know what I mean? And women have, like you said, they've tried to do some things to the other woman as if she did something to you. Like she hurt you.
Right.
And she has
like
no
he
idea.
hurt you.
Right. Right. You know, like, and you're upset. And I think that I just want women, if you are going to be that person, this is not judging any woman who is in that situation, who is okay with it. But I just feel like, just imagine how if it would feel if it was you. Like, that's kind of what I would think about. Like, let's just think about, if it was me, how would I feel if I came across my Instagram, I'm scrolling, and I see my boyfriend in a picture with some other woman. Yeah. You know, like a Snapchat, a selfie, whatever. Like, I would be heartbroken because I would be embarrassed. Yep. You know, like, I would be ultimately embarrassed. I would be ashamed, you know, disrespected. And it's like, women just, again, I think this whole, like, that's his girlfriend, I have no loyalty to her idea is just the wrong mentality. Yeah. You know?
Where did we get that from?
I don't know. I don't know where it's like, I don't have loyalty to her, that's his girl. And it's like, yes, you don't, because you don't know her, she don't know you, but she's still a woman, and she still has feelings, and I'm sure you can relate to how she would feel, or how you would feel if you were in those shoes. Right. Or are these women who are in this position so emotionless that maybe they wouldn't care? Potentially. You know? Potentially. Definitely. That it just wouldn't bother you. It's kind of like, I don't care, I wouldn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's where you're kind of like doing these type of things because it probably won't bother you. But it's like, as a human being, like, I think we all get bothered by certain things, and I would assume that it would, but now you think about, like, maybe it
it has to be a possibility, because that community, that population, those women who think, you know, or abide by that's law, they've been doing it, and they've been successful in doing it, and so much so that other women want to do it too. Right. So it's like they hold some type of power, and for whatever reason, they ain't into the mushy stuff, or people not into monogamy. I feel like it's okay if it works for you. Right. The problem is it's happening to women who think is ready for that life, but not ready for that life.
Right. And that's a good point. There are women who end up in those situations, and they're not ready for it. Like, you know, and they're falling for somebody else's man. Like, there's a difference, again, of being this. There's some people, women out here who are legit the side chick, and they getting what they can get from the situation. Right. Like, they have I don't care about him, as long as he pay my bills. Yes. I call him when I need him. But then there's the other women who get caught up in it, and now they're, like, in love with someone else's man. Yep. And they don't know how to get out of it. And it's like, I thought I could do this, but I can't, you know? I thought I could be the other woman, and I thought I didn't want commitment. Now I see that I want commitment, and now now I'm on commitment with somebody else's man.
Yes.
You know, and then how you get out of that.
Right.
Like, you know.
And then the guy will start to look at you different because he fell in love or was attracted to that woman that was with the shits.
Right.
And like with the speaking and now you trying to be this woman who was like his other woman already. And I was like, oh, we done switched up the game here. Like, what we doing?
Right.
And then that's when it started to get messy. It seems like.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a catch-22 if you aren't 1,000% committed to what you're signing up for.
Right.
So I feel like every woman, whether I've known them or like heard about them, the final, like the end of the story happens, but I got my heart broke. Or it didn't end well. Or
right.
Nigga, like, you know?
Right. And I guess that's a good way to kind of close out the conversation of just thinking about like, what is the end game of being a side chick? Like, when you're in that situation, like, what do women expect from a relationship? Is it just a continuous you give, I take relationship? Or is it like the women who are expecting to be, they're being told, I'm going to leave my wife or my girlfriend for you? Like, I always wonder, like, what are women expecting in the end?
Yeah.
Like, and it's going for years.
Yep.
And, you know, it can go on for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when does it end? You know, what is the end result for women? That's always just how I'm thinking about things.
Right. Again, it goes back to like, if it was, I think that the end all be all for women, like, women wouldn't be so damaged or so hurt in the end if, again, they stick to the script. Right? The moment you fall short or try to add in something or try to take away something, that's when, like, all bets are off. You're almost setting yourself up for failure, or you are, like, serving yourself on a platter for heartbreak and you know, like, distress. And so it's like, if you're gonna be a side chick, right, you gotta learn, like, to play the game until, like, it's over. Otherwise, the only alternative is heartbreak. Because if you are, like, you know, just a regular woman like how we are, who legit wants love, but maybe it's not, like, you know, running into the right man, or maybe it's like looking for it in all the wrong places, you keep using or doing those same behaviors and developing those same patterns, it's only going to end bad. So it's like, you know how this is going to end. And ultimately, I feel like if women were, like, straight up with these guys, says, like, honestly, like, if you really, like, the stuff that you tell us, tell it to them, like, exactly like that. I think that all that fluff and BS and playing games and going back and forth, it probably would still happen, but not as much, because guys would then know, like, wait, these women, they ain't going for that. They, you know, they said this is the last time, and it was really the last time. She didn't take me back. And I think that women who are in a monogamous relationship or have been with their spouses for a long time has that sense of, you know, I know what I'm doing, and this is going to be it, and I'm going to show you that I'm different for her, because I'm going to mean when I say it the first time. We as women, we are so forgiving. I think it's just in us. It's just, like, part of the nurturing aspect of, like, how we're made. But at some point, every woman has their breaking point. And for some women, they give a guy 1,000,000 chances. Other women might give you 5. That's it. And those guys will always remember, like, dang, like, man, I messed up with that one. She turned me down. And then the women that they know that they can play on it, they know they can whisper in their ear. They know they can buy you a bag and everything will be okay. They know you can put the D on you and you be good and shut up for a couple days. It's like, they know that. Like, we teach, I don't care, we teach them the game. Okay? They only do what we allow them to do. Because if all the women in the world didn't take a nigga back the first time they cheated, guys wouldn't cheat. Guys wouldn't cheat. I'm convinced. For real.
So yeah, I just think that, again, these are some of the questions that we may never get the answer to, of when it became so popular and became a thing. And, you know, we have, like, we can blame it on so many different things, so many different reasons. It can be how you was raised, what you believe, your previous heartbreak. So many different layers to how women fall into these situations. And I truly feel a sense of, like, hurt in my heart that there are so many women out here in these situations.
Me too.
And especially the women who are out here expecting or being told that that the man is going to leave their significant other for them, and you're sitting around waiting, and you're missing up on your opportunity to find true love because of the man that you're waiting for, you know, and it's just playing this game with you, you know. So I really wanted women to watch this episode and just, you know, if you have a friend, a sister, a cousin, anybody that you know is going through this and is struggling of how to get out of these situations or continue to get herself in these situations, you know, just continue to uplift her and help her understand who she is, you know, and what her self-worth is. And I think that's being a side chick in those situations is really hard for friends to tell the person to get out of it, you know.
We didn't talk about that.
It's really hard.
That is
hard. You know, and I don't know, it's one of those touchy topics of friendship, and you know it's not right, and your friend know that you know it's not right, and they know, and it's just like, you know, like it can cause you and your friend to fall out, you know, over your own beliefs, and it's like it gets so touchy. But I think if you are a friend and you are a good friend to that person, that as that good friend you make it known to that person that they deserve better, because I wouldn't be your friend if I made it okay for you, you know.
And I'm still gonna be your friend. If you're a good friend, you're still gonna be that girlfriend. That friend is just gonna know, like, all right, that's the friend that we can't really talk about this with. Right.
Because I know she's gonna try to tell me what I don't want to hear about, and it's not gonna be like to bash you out the situation, but it's gonna let you know, like, girl, you need to be doing so much better for yourself, and you deserve so much more.
That's right. And you can't really, like, I feel like, and I've learned myself, you can voice your opinion or share your perspective without judgment. It's like, I'm going to tell you that what you're doing is out of line and out of pocket, but I'm going to love you because I'm genuinely your friend. So we're not going to get in an argument. Girl, bye. You talking to a married man, because now you passing judgment. It's more than just, you know, you trying to tell me that I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, now it's coming from a malice place. I think it's all in your delivery, and it's all about, like lifting that judgment off, just with genuinely from your heart. I think you out of pocket for doing this, and you know, it's because of how much that, you know, I love you, or that you should be loving yourself more than this guy.
So that was a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, that was good, sis.
That was good, right?
That was good. I'm into it. I'm all the way into it. Like, for real. One thing we got to do, I don't know how we want to, like, do this, but we need questions.
We do this. How about y'all, you know, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like this video, and you can put comments below and share your feedback. Like, what did you think about this? Answer our questions. Like, why are women comfortable? When did this become a thing? You know, answer it so we can see what you guys think, and that would be and it would get people talking. And I really want this conversation, and just conversations in general, to get women talking to one another, and to try to, like, you know, like I said, some questions will never have a one answer, like, oh, it happened in the 1900s, like, you know. But it will, you know, it may spark conversation, and I think it would be good, healthy conversations.
Agreed.
We don't want nobody to go back and start, you know,
going
at their friends and telling them, like, you know, we don't want.
And don't start, like, if you know us, don't start saying, oh, well, you did this. Listen, we've been there, done that, we passed that. This is what it is now.
You know, so I thank y'all for watching, and I will see you guys soon.